Hey guys, aren't these puppies adorable, and wouldn't you want to spend a day with them? Well, let me show you what our facility here at Standing Stone looks like. Hey guys, Kat here from Standing Stone, and we've been asked over and over to give a tour of our whelping facility. So I figured what better time than now, because we have 3 litters at different stages and 1 on the way, and so I'll be able to show you a lot of things today. So first, when you come into our whelping facility, we put on scrubs, we put on shoes that are specifically only for in our whelping facility, and we wash hands. We want to limit the opportunity for cross-contamination from the kennel wing to here, from our personal dogs to here. We want to keep this as sterile of an environment as possible, which includes having its own heating and air conditioning system so that we're not bringing any air from the kennel into the whelping facility either. When you come into our facility and you've scrubbed in, there's a few things that are of key to note. One is how nice and quiet it is in here, because we have this perforated steel ceiling, which really minimizes the echo. Hazel, I know you're excited to see visitors. That's another thing that I want to point out. Our whelping runs, which we have 7 of them, and never have we ever had 7 litters on the ground at the same time. 3 litters actually on the ground at the same time has probably been the max that we've had, but our mamas can see out and we can see into them with the gates the way that they are, which is awesome, so that they feel part of things. They don't feel the need, especially as they get more pregnant, to be standing up on the gates or trying to jump to look over the gates and hurting themselves or injuring any puppies. We also have an entire floor that's epoxied, and our whelping stalls have epoxy coating halfway up the walls, which I'll be able to show you as well when we get a little closer. It's nap time here for puppies, but this floor allows us to clean it really easily, and nothing absorbs into the concrete. We have a couple litters of puppies. We've got our shock dock litter here that they are 7 weeks old. They'll be turning 8 weeks old here shortly and going home. And then we have our litter of grip puppies over here who are almost 6 weeks old, and it's nap time for both of them. And then in here, I'll open this up, we've got our 4-week-old muddy puppies, and they spend time not only in the whelping box away from mama for nap time, but they also get opportunities to nurse with Muddy, and then they also have time to come out into the 3rd playpen that we have set up. So having them in their whelping box, but also have the opportunity to go in their playpen, is the transition that we start when we start puppy mush and outside potty break times, to teach them to be clean in their space. And so we've got puppies at so many different stages, as well as our mama, Hazel, who we just did an ultrasound to confirm her pregnancy, and she is for sure pregnant. So she's due in about 30 days. So she's in here getting an opportunity to start getting comfortable in her space. She gets a dog bone to chew on. We do treadmill time for her to keep her in good shape, but no free runs and no uncontrolled exercise, because she is pregnant and we want to make sure that she is staying in shape but not injuring herself. Each of our whelping stalls, which let's go ahead and come over to this one, which is empty at this point. Each of our whelping stalls has, like I mentioned before, the epoxy coating, but it also has radial cove, which, let me go ahead and point out what I'm talking about here. So this is what we call radial cove. See how it's not a nice sharp corner that stuff gets down in and makes it really hard to clean? It's smooth like that, and it's smooth outside in this space, which is where mama can hop out and have some time away from puppies when she's starting the weaning process, but it's also rounded inside of our whelping box as well. So if you want to come in so you can see what the inside of one of these whelping boxes looks like. So inside we have our pig rails, which are these plastic railings that are able to come apart and be cleaned really easily as well, but that allows mama to lay with her puppies without accidentally squishing one up against the wall, because the puppy can just tuck under the edge of the whelping rail. I'll hop in there to show you. So they can tuck right up under here, so if mama's laying up against that, puppy's safe underneath that whelping rail. Then this, guys, this is our whelping nest. It is built into the floor, which is raised from outside the whelping stall itself, and we can look at that dimension difference. But this allows it to set down in it, as well as the floor is insulated, so it's not a concrete floor that's cool to the touch. We wanted to make sure that our puppies are able to be comfortable and warm, which is really important in those early weeks for the puppy. So this is climate controlled, temperature controlled. We have a switch and we turn it on before the puppies are born, and then we can turn it off at about 3 weeks when the puppies don't need that temperature control as much, and they can self-regulate their temperatures themselves. But then Mama can nest with the puppies here. These whelping nests actually work better without bedding on top of them. So most of the time in that first few weeks, there's no bedding in with the mamas. They get a little bit of bedding to start nesting and feeling comfortable to have puppies. We have bedding in here while they're having puppies to help with some of the absorption of all of those pregnancy labor fluids that happen. But as soon as that process is over, we pull our whelping material so that the puppies can have direct contact on the whelping nest for better heat transfer, as well as we're not having a puppy accidentally buried under whelping material when the mamas nest or dig, or they're just, starting to move around. Also, each of the whelping stalls has a camera so that we can see Mama before she's having puppies, to keep an eye on her, as well as once the puppies are born, I can have that open. It's kind of like a baby monitor, and I can see what's going on with puppies at any time from anywhere. So I really like that option as well. And then this is just basically the overall whelping stall with these dividers. We have different sized ones depending on the stages that the puppies are at and when they can start hopping over. We want to make it as easy as possible for Mama to get in and out at first when she's, just postpartum, as well as, has a lot of milk production. And then as her milk production is less and the weaning process has started and those puppies are getting bigger, we can put extra dividers in here until it's completely tall. Mamas can still hop in and out, but puppies typically can't crawl out at that point. One of the other things that I wanted to mention is we have nice natural lighting in here. So each of the whelping stalls has its own window for natural lighting. We have some natural lighting on the front with some shades that can be drawn if need be, and our windows in our doors. So looking in from the kennel to our whelping facility and looking out from the whelping facility into the back puppy pen area has glass so we can see through easily and see what's going on. That natural lighting is really nice for these puppies so they can get used to nighttime and daytime, and when they should be sleeping, hopefully, before they go home to their new families, and then when they can be up and awake and playing. Music. We have music. It's not on right now because we're trying to film this video. Puppies are napping too. But we have music that we can turn on for them to just have some white noise, background noise, for them to get used to, as well as it can help disguise some of the other sounds that happen around the kennel facility, from clients coming, cleaning happening, let-outs happening, and then just all around training with the other dogs here. I want to pull your attention to these little file folders here. We have one next to each of our wings for our puppy whelping stall, and allows us to hang some leashes for helping mamas go in and out. We hang up their flat collars, so once puppies are born, we actually remove mama's flat collars, so there's no potential of a puppy getting tangled or hung up in a flat collar. And then we also have all of our whelping information here. I'll just pull up this litter, for example. So this is Grit's litter. This is where I can keep track of litter records with puppy information on a couple pages. And then this is really cool. Just for example, they're almost 6 weeks old, so it says what we're supposed to be doing with those puppies at this point. They're eating puppy mush, mostly Crunchies with some whole kibble, moving towards 2 cups of food per puppy because that's where they should be at when they go home, as well as they're getting daily probiotics, and we can mark off how many meals they're getting a day, as well as what that consistency of their puppy mush is, the formula, because every litter is going to be different from litter size and the size of the puppies, and what they're going to need from a nutritional standpoint is going to change as well. So each of the weeks has these changes, as well as milestones talking about vaccinations, microchipping, worming happens, stool samples, all of that happens. It's a big week for those puppies at 6 weeks old, but then like 4 weeks, puppies are starting puppy mush. They're starting to go outside, like I mentioned with Muddy's litter, and all of those milestones I have listed. So it's just a good way to keep track. Is this litter getting everything that it needs? And we keep all of that right here, so it's easily accessible for each litter. And then let's take a quick peek out the back. We don't have to actually go out there, but we have its own fenced in puppy area where the puppies can go out to potty, to play. It's always supervised time while they're out there. They can play with their mamas. The litters are usually kept separately when there's such an age discrepancy. My 8-week-old puppies, or almost 8-week-old puppies here with Shock's litter, aren't going to be able to play with Muddy's litter, who's just 4 weeks old, because they're going to play too rough. So they get individual separate playtime, as well as they have their individual separate inside playtime in their puppy pens as well. And then we've got a couple crates for mamas, so that when they're not nursing puppies, they can be crated, as well as it allows us to start the crate training process. So these guys, though they're napping here right now, between shifts, which is midday from about 1 to 3, they have crate time. And then they also are crated overnight, not individually, but as litter mates, so that they can start learning, hey, we stay clean in our crate space together, and then we're going to get an opportunity to go out first thing in the morning so that we can start that potty training habit for our puppy buyers from the get-go. I know what you guys are thinking. All of these puppies are so adorable, so cute. This is your dream job. This is what you'd want to be doing all the time. But believe me, guys, as cute as they are, they also create a lot of messes. Though we're teaching them to be clean and going outside for potty breaks, they still get their whelping pads and their puppy corral pads washed and cleaned and changed out multiple times a day, and that requires a lot of laundry. So we also have our own separate laundry system from the rest of the kennel, just so everything can be kept as clean as possible. And then I just want to give you my grand little end of this tour of our organization, because organization is so important to me. Having things in their right place so that it can be found easily when you need it is really important. So we've got laundry supplies in here, extra cleaning supplies, the boring stuff, just more towels. This is more of like our puppy weaning. So we've got formula and bottles and milk bubbles and extra bowls. Spoons and forks for mixing up puppy mush is all here, as well as grooming supplies, so nail trimming, shampoo, ear cleaning solution. Puppies get baths right here in the sink. All of our dishes get washed right here in the sink and then put away. We've got our food formula. So typically we're only feeding the Eukanuba Puppy Pro here because the puppies are on Puppy Pro when they start puppy mush, as well as we keep our mamas on the Puppy Pro once their pregnancy has been confirmed. And then last is our whelping room closet. So in here we've got not the perforated steel ceiling, so a little more echo. Maybe you can see the difference. But we've got all of our other supplies, so extra pairs of scrubs in different sizes. We've got a lot of equipment and stuff up here from whelping supplies, microchip stuff, things that we don't need as often are more on the top shelves, especially when you're as short as me. I also have to have a step stool, extra whelping pads and whelping supplies here as well. We've got baskets of puppy toys, because you can never have too many puppy toys. Then we've got more along the lines down here, our puppy send home stuff, so food scoops, our puppy scale for measuring and weighing puppies on the weekly, and when they're just a few days old on the daily. And then we've got individual feeding stations for when our puppies are closer to that 7-8 week mark. And then some of our puppy send home supplies like pens and clickers, all the different sized and color collars that we send home with our puppy buyers, with their shot records and chew treats. And then we've got their individual puppy bags of food that I send home. These are 4-pound bags of the Eukanuba Puppy Pro that I send home a sample of so that people can get started on the nutrition that we've been using with our puppies here. And then a little tote to throw all the goodies in, and a puppy blanket. So send a lot of stuff home with our puppy clients because I want them to all start out on the right foot with the things that we've been doing with those puppies. Thanks guys for following along on our facility tour. I hope you learned a lot and see how much time, effort, and energy we put into raising the puppies here at Standing Stone.